How's it going? Got an interesting story I find very hilarious. The headline is Black Lives Now Endorsing Trump, Dems Losing the Black Vote. I mean, it's definitely interesting. From Grounds.news, state Black Lives Matter leader Mark Fisher endorses Trump, says Democratic Party is not for us. According to the right, black voters are expressing their disillusionments in the Democratic Party, believing that their policies are racist and they take their votes for granted, which is true. They've been banking on the black vote for a while. Let's see here. New York Times, Selena College poll found that Donald Trump has gained significant support from the black voters in battleground states won by President Biden in 2020. The shift in support is attributed to black voters being misinformed about Trump's policies and not being educated on the history, according to Fisher, affiliated member of Black Lives Matter. On the left, former Black Lives Matter leader Mark Fisher endorses Donald Trump for the 2024 presidential election, expressing disappointment with Joe Biden's presidencies. Even Ice Cube was disappointed during the 2020 election. Trump's team visit with Ice Cube for the Platinum Plan. And Joe Biden will say, wait until I'm elected. Just another example. Fisher's endorsement does not necessarily reflect the view of the larger Black Lives Matter movement, which is a decentralized network with diverse opinions. They're downplaying it on the left. He's an outlier. He doesn't really express the view of Black Lives Matter organization. Recent polls indicate the decline in black voters' support for Biden. It's approximately 22% of the black electoral favoring Trump compared to 8% in the 2020 election. Trump did a lot of good things for the black community. I'm just saying. A lot of his policies were to promote everybody to rise. And when everybody rises, that includes every ethnic background. Their state Black Lives Matter leader, Mark Fisher, endorses Trump, says the Democratic Party is not for us. It was never for the black community. We kind of fought a civil war with the Democrats because they were for slavery. I know some say that the party switched, but it really hasn't switched. They kind of changed in the positions that they take. It's a co-founder of state Black Lives Matter chapter on Tuesday endorsed former President Donald Trump's 2024 White House bid. Mark Fisher, who co-founded the Rhode Island chapter of Black Lives Matter, argued that the Democrats are demonstrating duplicity and that the party policies reveal hypocrisy. During an interview with Fox News, "We're not stupid," Fisher said. "We understand when someone is for us and when someone is not. It's obvious that the Democratic Party is not for us. I don't think the Republican Party is for you either. This is my personal opinion, but they are for the individuals to rise. They're not for collectivism." So your former president currently leads the GOP primary field with a wide margin as the first Republican primary in Iowa approaches January the 15th. A recent New York Times Selena College poll shows Trump and President Joe Biden in a tight race a year out from the elections. That's really all to this story. Let's see here. Is this going to be a video? I mean, I could read it. Don't know what's up with that other than there's an ad. So this one is BL by Fox, Bailey Hill, Fox News. Let's see here. How long is this? That's not too long. I'll read parts of it. Let's see here. Black Lives Matter leader through his support behind the former President Trump in the 2024 race. The White House accusing Democrats of racist policies that are working against the black community. I mean, they're keeping the black man down by creating certain policies that try to elevate them without any work. If that makes sense. They're not really elevating them. They're just giving them handouts, which also keeps them down. You have to bring companies in. You got to build an infrastructure to promote local economies to thrive. When they thrive, that raises the local population up, not just handouts. Mark Fisher, who's a co-founder of Black Lives Matter, Rhode Island, joined Fox and Friends to discuss why some black voters are leaving the Democratic Party as they contemplate who they'll vote for in 2024 presidential election. I will say it's a little early to say which team I'm voting for. It's going to be either the Libertarian Party or Donald Trump. Those are my only two options. The duplicity of the Democrats, the hypocrisy, Fisher told Lawrence Jones Tuesday, we're not stupid. The brothers are not stupid. We understand when someone's for us and when someone's not. It's obvious the Democratic Party is not for us. The policies actually strike at the heart of the black family and the nuclear family, he continued, which is interesting because the parent organization Black Lives Matter wanted to destroy the nuclear family. So it's nice to see that not all Black Lives founders support that ideology. Fisher argued Democrats don't value the black vote during an interview with Kim Version Show earlier this month, while praising Trump for advocating policies to uplift the community. You have to uplift the community, not just give them handouts. And that's by creating an infrastructure that promotes companies to bring their businesses to black neighborhoods and hire black people to run said companies, pay the black people, which in return creates local economy uplifting, which raises everybody within that community because everyone's making their money. As someone once said, we all get fed today, or we all must eat. We've been used and abused for so long by a party that don't value our votes. No, they value your vote. They just want you to vote and not provide anything. They want you to vote in hopes that they'll fix your issues, but they never fix the issues. They just keep it going because that's how they get elected. They promise you they're the solution, but they never offer solutions. Donald Trump came into office and offered solutions. He provided solutions. Did he get everything he wanted? Absolutely not. Was he perfect? Not by a long shot, but at least he implemented policies that helped communities abroad the United States, not just the black community. Let's see here. Their policies are basically racist policies. I believe it's a racist party. Donald Trump, just the opposite. He's going to tell you how it is. He's going to give it to you straight. Kind of. He kind of speaks his mind, and people view that as him saying it straight. But Trump has done more for the black community than any president I could think of in my lifetime, he continued, which is true. I mean, he just didn't help the black community. He helped everybody. He implemented policies, at least domestically, to at least give a person a chance to live the American dream, to work hard, to earn that scratch, to actually put food on their family's table. A New York Times Selena College poll this month raised the alarms for Democrats after it found Trump had reached unprecedented levels of support for the black voters in battleground states. That President Biden won. I already read that one. Let's see here. A poll showed only 41% of black adults say that they want Biden to run a second term, and just 55% said they would likely support him in the general election. These figures are stark contrast in the first few months in office when 9 out of 10 black voters approved of the job that he was doing. Fisher suggests that the black voters who still voting blue are misinformed and aren't educated on Trump's policy and how they benefited the black community. You know, that's kind of an issue for Trump. That is a big issue for Trump. Now, I get that this person understands that Trump's policies were benefiting the black community, but it's up to Trump to sell that point home. It is up to Trump to make sure that information is out there. Now, it could be he did do that, but people saw Trump and just turned it off and viewed it as propaganda, which it very well could be, don't get me wrong. I mean, these are the people that were told on CNN and MSNBC and all the left-wing media that Trump is Hitler. He doesn't care about the black community. He's doing everything to destroy them, bring them back in the chains. So I kind of understand it, but it's kind of Trump's job to promote his policies and how they benefited not just the black community, but all communities. A lot of people are misinformed, Fisher said. They don't really understand because they don't educate themselves on Donald Trump as a person and his history. But if they do that, they're going to take educated leaders to get the word out there. And I think it's happening on its own. It'll be organic because personally, I love the man. I mean, it's good on him that he's in a position to spread the word. Don't get me wrong. But I still think Trump needs to be the one leading the charge because he's the one that's going for the position, and he was in the position that he needed to keep the position, and he failed to do that. How could you not like a real man? How could you not relate to someone like that? He continued. Will Donald Trump announce his running mate for the 2024 election by January? I don't think so. I mean, if you're Trump, you're going to wait for the last possible moment. Despite his political shift, Fisher says that he's still affiliated with Black Lives Matter and wants to continue to preach the message of unity. My message I preach and I tell is unity. The message of unity is unity driven. That's kind of word salad. Fisher said, I want to bring together all marginalized groups from the margins and bring them to the center because we're stronger together. One nation under God, indivisible. Fox News, Christian Parts contribute to this report. I mean, could he be the Martin Luther King of this generation? I don't know. I'm just asking the question. And if he's not shunned by the black community, if he's not shunned by the Black Lives Matter organization, and he actually wants to peacefully unite us, he could be that person. But Martin Luther King has some really big shoes to fill, regardless of how you feel about him. Let's see here. Just read a couple of these comments. I hope people will wake up and realize that the Democrats say anything to get votes. And I hope everyone will look at their current situation, life objectively, and ask, am I better off now or when Trump was president? I would like to think the latter. But as for me, I was able to put a lot more money in the bank during the Trump presidency. Now, what would have been saved is being spent on necessities. I hope everyone stops and thinks before voting. Here's the thing. I get that the president gets all the blame and all the credit during their administration. But a lot of that has to do with Congress. You have to not just elect the president, you have to elect a Congress that goes well with the president. So let's say we elect Donald Trump, which is a Republican, and we elect a Democratic Congress. They're not going to get along. They're not going to promote policies. They're not going to pass bills to benefit the people. They're going to try to play politics and try to get the upper hand on each other. Now, if you were to elect a Congress that wants to see Donald Trump's vision to become reality, then that's where you're going to see benefits. People in the past have come to the U.S. because it represents freedoms many countries could only dream of, and in 3 short years, this administration has sought to destroy those freedoms through mandates, executive orders, take over public education, religious freedoms under the guise of secularism, etc. The goal has been a new America under a socialist vision, and they are more than halfway to completion. I don't think it's socialism vision. I think it's globalism vision. I think small groups of elites want to rule the world. Gallup poll yesterday has Biden approval at 37% with a disapproval of 59%. His approval rating with independents is a record low of 27%. Time is running out for Biden. The Republican Party was formed in 1854 to combat slavery. It was a Republican president who freed the slaves. The Democrats fought to maintain slavery in the Civil War. This is why we need to remember history, not erase it. This is true. History also shows how political parties and countries can change over the years, independent. Here, Joe Biden is a prime example why America needs total term limits, not just term limits per type of office. Voter ID. Politics should not be your career, and especially should not come with a pension. This is not what our founders of the country envisioned. If only there was a process whereby citizens can choose their representatives. I mean, we kind of do and we kind of don't. It's called elections, and if Democrats think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are the two most qualified individuals in the country to lead the executive branch of the federal government, then we have serious problems with the future of America. It's here. Welcome to the party. It's not just supporting Trump. It's to take a hard look at your school boards, county commissioner, mayors, DAs, AGs, judges, sheriffs, governors, representatives too. Those are the ones that really clogging stuff up and standing in the way of freedom and opportunity. The way you dismantle the useless, self-serving bureaucracy is from the ground up, not the top down. If you follow the news, you can see a red wave starting at grassroots levels. Things are changing and hopefully will continue. I mean, not completely wrong, but it's kind of optimistic. I'm an independent voter who never registered for a political party. I'll vote for whoever can reverse Biden's damage. That will not be a Democrat in this coming election. It'll now take decades to undo the damage the Dems have caused. It's not just the Dems. The Republicans are equal to blame. But with that being said, that is my video for today. Leave a comment down below what your thoughts are. But most importantly, have yourself a wonderful day, morning, or evening.